What's up, guys? It's Tim here on this beautiful sunny Wednesday, at least here in the Midwest anyway. It's sunny and 50 some degrees or so. I was out getting the grill ready, getting pretty excited about grilling season. They can do the social distancing and all that and keep us from gathering, but I'll still be out there grilling up beautiful fat sirloin steaks, and I'll be excited about that. So drinking beer and grilling steaks, can't beat it. If you're new here, thanks for stopping by. If you're a subscriber already, I appreciate the loyalty. That's so awesome. I had a small music channel, and I passed subscribers. And that channel I'd had for several years, and this one I passed the amount of subscribers in less than a month. So it's a huge milestone for me, a little milestone in the big scheme of things with YouTube and, people that get millions of views and all that. And I'm over here happy to get, a couple thousand on my whole channel. So pretty exciting for me, though. Big milestone passing that other channel with subscribers in such a short amount of time. So thanks for the love, guys. That's awesome. If you are new here, or if you're not, either way, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, help YouTube's algorithm find me and show me to other people so I can hopefully help them get started trading. I'm not a guru, I'm not a multi-millionaire trader, but hopefully I know a little more than somebody that's just starting out, and I might be able to help you along. If you got any questions or comments or anything, go ahead and leave them in the comments section and tell me what you want to see. I'm happy to make videos covering what you guys want to see and what you're looking for, what you need help with. I respond to every comment, so shoot me a message. Also, today I'm going to go over my trades. I had a couple of trades today. One right out of the gate, I didn't follow my rules, so it burned me. That's what happens when you don't follow your rules. And then I made another trade and made up most of what I lost. Not all of it. Still had a red day, but made up most of what I lost. So overall, not a bad day. Pretty close to break even. You live to trade another day, I guess. So without further ado, I'll jump over there and show you the trades that I made today, and I'll show you the hot stocks that I saw that most day traders were trading, and kind of show you where I think some entries and exits would be. The first trade I made today, right out of the gate, breaking my rules and paying for it, burning my ass by breaking the rules. But that's what happens. I have a very specific pattern that I trade, which is just breakouts, bull flags and flat top breakouts, and breaking the high of day. It's pretty simple, but doing that consistently over and over and over again is how I've become profitable. So that's what I need to stick to. And of course, I broke my own rule, and that happens all the time. You'll be surprised, or maybe you won't, depending on how much you've been trading, how often what your plan is, what your rules are, and then something catches your eye and you find yourself jumping in, and the next thing you know, you're regretting that decision very quickly. But anyway, it was CPHI. The news was, I think, that they were going to start making like COVID-19 masks. It's China Pharma Holdings. So I was watching it pre-market. This is the daily chart, by the way. I'll go back to that. This is the daily chart, and this is today. So it did have some resistance. That was red flag number one, but it looked strong enough right out of the gate, and it was in the hot sector, the COVID-19 coronavirus sector that's so hot right now. So that was kind of why I thought, with it being a low float and cheaper stock, a lot of people would jump on it in that hot sector, and it could really fly. So what happened was, right out of the gate here in pre-market, it shot up. I was watching it. It got up here, and I was looking for it to break $1. I didn't want to buy it till it broke $1. So, it's up at this point from 47 cents or so, and it's pushing $1. I'm looking to buy the break of $1. I just had it in my mind that if it could make it all the way to $1 in a matter of minutes and then break that level, it's got a pretty good shot of going to the moon, as they say. But that being said, I know that that's not my pattern. I like to buy stocks when they're curling back up and breaking high of day. I don't like to buy the initial spike. And that's because so often when I've bought the initial I can't speak, sorry, the initial spike, especially pre-market, it's ended up fading, and I've ended up getting burned on it. So didn't follow that rule, didn't listen to that voice inside me telling me not to take the trade. I got FOMO because it had gone up so much, and I thought, oh, this is going to be great. So I took a position. I was sitting ready for it to break one. I hit that buy button at the right time. I got filled at 99 cents, so just under a dollar. It ended up going up and it hit 105. Actually, I think it hit 108 or so. So it ended up kind of doing what I wanted it to do, but I didn't take the profit, and it was such a quick in and out thing. And my internet connection, I don't think, was the best because it was jumping around on my level 2. Something didn't look right. But anyway, that's not an excuse. It doesn't matter. I should have never even taken the trade. And I found myself chasing it with FOMO, like happens to the best of us. And right away, I didn't get out of it super quick, and it started dropping. So then you find yourself in that position of, where am I going to cut the loss? None of this is here, obviously, at that time. So I'm looking at it here, and it's bouncing down 93, 94 area. And at this point, I'm starting to think, all right, I'm going to have to get out of it. It could be a pullback, and it could continue up, but it's just not what my plan was. I want to trade my plan. I wanted it to break a dollar and quickly jump up, hopefully to 115 or 120, and get out of it for 15 or 20 cents a share. Be a nice profit. So it wasn't doing what my plan was. It was just pulling back and then continuing down, and it ended up when it got down to around 90 cents, that's when I cut the loss and got out of it. So I ended up losing about 10 or 11 cents a share by the time I got out of it. And it was the right decision. That's why I always talk, and every person that talks about trading knows cut losses quickly is always rule number one, and it's because of this. Had I not cut this loss, I would end up, watching it fade, hoping that it comes back, and of course it never does. And I would have ended up losing like 45 cents a share. Would have been a huge loss. So I am thankful that I was smart enough in the moment to cut the loss and get out of it when my plan wasn't working. But still, I shouldn't have let FOMO get the best of me, and it definitely did. And I regretted chasing that stock. Lesson for next time: don't chase in pre-market. Then let's see, UAVS. This was a stock that, let's see, I'm trying to remember where exactly I bought this one at. It wasn't there. Let's see. I know I got out. I got out at $1. Yeah, that's where it was. Okay, so this one was one that did work out. I was watching it right at open, which was right here. This is where it was going to open at, and it was looking strong. It was up on, let's see what the news was. Looks like purchase orders to make drones for package delivery. So it was a little bit of a coronavirus play because home delivery is a big thing right now, and developing different ways to make home delivery better and safer during the coronavirus. Anyway, so kind of fit that narrative of the hot sector. Came out of the gate strong, pulled back, and then it came back up to retest that pre-market high. And that, like I talked about on that last stock, should have been my plan. And it was my plan here. I learned my lesson from the first loss of the day. And as it broke this high of day right here, again, I got in looking for that break of $1. I got in right underneath it, around 98.5 cents. And then real quick, it jumped up just like I thought it would. I took my profit at 110. So I got a little over 10 cents a share, and then it quickly dropped back. So I was glad I got out of that. Of course, it ended up climbing back and getting halted there, and then ended up coming all the way back and climbing all the way up to almost 160. So naturally, had I been holding it, the rest of the day long term, I would have ended up making a bunch of money. But I just don't have the stomach to hold through this drop. And had I bought this high of day break, I wouldn't have had the stomach to hold through all of this and this retest down here at the 200 moving average. I just don't have the stomach to hold for that. I can't do it. I can't. I wish I could, but I don't have the ability to do it. I get too nervous and I cut it, and I would have ended up taking a loss as it came down. So my strategy is just to scalp, to get the quick breakout and get right back out of it, take my profit and move on. I could have been watching it over here and bought it when it broke this high of day level right here, and it would have worked out for a decent profit. But honestly, I probably would have got scared out when I see this choppiness. If I'm buying this breakout right here, it's getting halted. I'm already panicking in the halt, because when a stock's halted, if it's going up, typically it will open higher, but you don't know. It's a total gamble on whether or not it opens higher or lower, and what it does right out of the gate. It can drop real quick, and you can get caught. So halts would have made me nervous, and then being choppy right there out of a halt, I would have probably ended up getting out of it and cutting the trade anyway. So probably took one of the better spots. It did offer a couple of different moves. You could have bought the tested the 200. You could have bought a couple different breakouts, but either way, it worked out. Ended up making back most of the money I lost on the first trade, so that was good. Another stock that was moving today was CHCI. I think it was an earnings play, if I'm not mistaken. But this is the kind of daily chart you want to look at when you're looking for a breakout. Nothing but clear blue sky. Everything's trading down here in the 230 area, and this thing went all the way to what was the high? 626. So huge percent gainer at one point. And like I said, nothing but blue sky above it, so, or green sky in this case. So you like to see that when you're buying the breakout. Anyway, this is the 1 minute chart for today. So pre-market, it started moving when that news came out, ended up getting halted, came out of the halt like I talked about on that last stock. You never know what's going to happen. It came out of that halt and dropped big right there. I would have been panicking at that point, but it did recover, got all the way up here, got halted again, and again, right out of the halt, it drops quick. Also, in the stock market overall, history repeats itself, so these are things to always watch for. If you get caught in a halt and you've seen that it's halted before and dropped, you can also, a lot of times, you can bet that there's a better chance that it's going to do the same thing it did the last time. So it unhalted, dropped, recovered, and then ultimately faded the rest of the day. But it did offer a couple of good trades. I mean, ideally, if you were watching it pre-market and you saw it go up from the 170 area, and all of a sudden it's up over $1 at 280, pulls back, and then when it breaks that pre-market high, that would have been a perfect point to buy. And assuming that you got out of it before the halt, that'd be great. If you didn't, you're looking at 282. At that point, you got plenty of cushion at that 360 halt to get out of it on that candle, as long as you're on your A game and paying attention and get your hand on the mouse or the keyboard if you're using hotkeys. Get out of it pretty quick. Or in this case, if you held it, you would have been better off. But like I said, I'd try to play it safe. I've learned the hard way too many times of letting winning trades turn into losing trades. So my luck, I buy in that area, hold through the halt, and then it ends up fading. So for me, I like to try to get in, get some profit, get right back out, or at least take a majority of my profit and then hold a little piece of it up. If I think it's going to continue on and be strong, I'll hold a little piece of it and try to get out of it later on. That's pretty much my strategy in a nutshell. It's not anything complicated, just a matter of trading enough and getting enough experience that you see the patterns and you see the time to buy, and you just get used to watching it and feeling out the level too on when to get out of it. As soon as you see it start turning against you or you get a little worried about it, just get out of it. Live to trade another day. Works ended up going up a little bit this morning, but then ultimately fading. So it has not been the multi-day runner so far that I thought it could be. It's just done nothing but fade. Other than that, PIXY, PIXY, that was another one that I saw today. Had a lot of movement. This thing doubled. It went from $5 to at one point 11.40. So that would have been a heck of a play. Again, it was a multiple halt stock. It got halted here, halted here, halted here on the way down. A lot of halts. Those things make me nervous. Too many times I've been caught on the wrong side of the halt when it comes unhalted, or if it's long term and it ends up being more than a 5-minute typical halt. That also makes me super nervous, and you never know when it's going to open and where it's going to open. There was one yesterday that was crazy that I warned about on the video the day before, I think it was, or maybe earlier in that day. I was talking about a stock that was getting halted and how it's very risky to hold through the halt, and it ended up halting way lower. I'll do a video just on halts at some point because I screenshot that and I'll cover that at some point. But it was just a good example of like worst case scenario in a halt, that while it's halted, they come out with news of an offering and dilute their shares. I think they doubled the amount of shares that were in their float. But anyway, I'll cover that in another video. PIXY would have been a great buy. I mean, there wasn't as many good spots to buy. To me, I would have felt like I was chasing. You could have bought this little micro pullback right here or right here, but to me, it would have felt like chasing. And then at this point, had you bought the VWAP bounce, hoping it would bounce off VWAP shortly after market open, you would have been wrong and lost money. Came all the way back down to here, which to me makes me nervous. If a stock is up that much but then pulls all the way back down to 7 from $11, at that point I'm not looking to buy it. In this case, it went all the way back up and basically double topped, but still, that's not something I'm looking to buy. At this point, you could have bought the breakout, but it would have been pretty choppy. Would have been hard to hold it or get too much gain out of it. It moved fast, so I guess maybe you could have got a little bit of action out of that, but for the most part, not a whole lot of good buying opportunities in this stock, even though it went all the way from $5 to almost $11.50. Still, to me, no really good clean areas to buy, no clean setups that I really like. Guys, if you made it this far, thank you so much. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. I know that my YouTube channel is tiny compared to most of the gurus and trading people out there, and that's fine because they're probably a lot better traders than I am. I'm just happy to have what I have. I'm happy to have the subscribers I've gotten the last month. I'm happy to have all the viewers and anybody that made it to this point. Thank you so much for sticking with me through the whole video. Make sure you leave a comment and let me know you made it this far and what you'd like to see, and I'll try to make a video showing you anything you want to learn, whatever I can help with. Until then, till the next time, let trading set you free. Peace.